Hey guys, it's Jalen. Welcome back. I'm here today to share with you my update for my Petalette palette this year. I am working on 3 palettes. The first one is a palette I chose to work in collaboration with other ladies. I will leave their information down below. I also am working on a palette for the Better Together collaboration that Paula created. And lastly, I have a baby Petalette palette. So I'm going to start with the palette that I'm panning in collaboration with several other ladies, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. So first I'm going to show you what this palette looked like last month. And this is what my palette looks like this month. It's kind of hard to see over here. I'll have to fix my light. Yeah, I think that's easier. So as you can tell, this is very dirty, so I'm going to clean it off. My trick as usual is to grab something with a flat base. I'm using my Vitamin Rich Face Base by Bobbi Brown and wrapping a makeup wipe around it. And then we're going to just run that along. There we go. So much better. All right, let's talk about what's changed with this palette. The first is I've made a pretty good dent in incense. It's not quite done yet, but it's close. I think I'll have it done within, I don't know, a week for sure. And I have expanded the pan on Volatile, and I did hit new pan. This was a repressed shadow in Drama. I've expanded the pan quite a bit in Passion, as well as Celestial. I feel like next month I'm going to try to hit side pan there. And I actually have hit like corner pan in this repressed Dreamer shade. And the other big thing, I also expanded the pan, so I expanded the pan in most of these. The other big thing is I have a new shadow in here. So what I had pressed in here previously was a little bit of eccentric mixed with a contour shade from Kevin Aquan and a few other things. So once I finished that, I took more of Incense, and I actually mixed it more with some of that contour powder. It's just the Kevin Aquan contour powder in like this medium shade. And I took what was this white shade from my Baby Petalette palette, and I mixed all those together and I pressed it into here. Now, whenever I originally put this in here, it was pretty full. I do have a pretty good dip going. I don't know if I'm close to hitting pan. I'm probably close, and I'm probably going to have to repress this because it's pretty far up the sides. But I wanted to put together a shade that I could use as a first crease shade. So that's what that looks like. It's a very heavy swatch, and it's working very well for that. And somebody had an idea in my comments from the last video about using up the white shade in this Baby Petalette palette, which, thank you, that was a fabulous idea. And that way I can get that shadow out and work on the other 2 or 3 shadows that I want to work on in that Baby Petalette palette and be done with it. So anyway, that's how it's looking. So goals for next month is finish Incense. Whoops, this one. Hit pan in my Franken shade. I'd like to finish half of Dreamer and hit side pan in Celestial. I think that's it for now. I mean, I have pan and Drama, but I'm not really quite ready to say that I want to finish it. So those are my goals. I feel like those are good goals. Now, in terms of weight, this palette weighed 186.6 grams last month. I'm only down 0.2 grams. And that's really because we have like basically a full shadow in here. So I'm not too concerned about the weight. I feel like it'll drop pretty easily. As I'm working this shade, we'll get some good progress on it. Right now I'm tracking at a total of 5.1 grams used, which is exactly where I need to be. So I'm pretty happy with the progress on this guy. Yay. All right, now for the palette that I'm doing in collaboration with Paula and a bunch of other ladies, which is the Better Together collaboration. This particular theme that Paula came up with she recommended it as a theme for that palette for the Fantastic Ladies, but it didn't get chosen. So a couple of us a large group of us actually, decided to go ahead and do this theme for this year as a Petalette palette idea. And I am working on the Viseart Midsommer palette. So I will show you what this looked like last month. And this is how I'm looking now. So my big goal last month was to hit pan in this shade, which of course, as you can see, I did. I'm probably going to have to repress that somewhat soon. I may be able to go another month before repressing. I haven't really used these other shades very much, to be honest. I've used this one here and there, but those other three, like I haven't really touched very much. I was thinking this shade would be a good first or second crease shade, and honestly, once I'm finished with Incense, I think that's how I'll end up using it, because it's a good second shade in the crease. You know, this one, it's really pretty. And it's probably a color more up my alley, but I really just want to get Incense done. So anyway, that's how this is looking. I'm very excited about that. I did have all three of these pans finished previously, right? Oh no, I finished this pan. I didn't even notice that. Wow, I totally forgot about that. Some of this did crumble out as I was traveling. I did lose some of the shadow, but what can you do? That is what it is. But yeah, I used this shade in my inner corner and I was able to finish it. So I totally forgot about that. All right, in terms of weight, this weighed last month 45.1 grams. It's currently at 44.4, which means I used 0.7 grams out of this palette. And like the Norvina palette, I am right on track with this. This has about 8 grams of shadow, according to Viseart, and I've used 4.1 grams. So I am right on track to potentially finish this in this year, which is great. Now for my baby Petalette palette, I am panning the Wet n Wild Petalette Quad. So let me show you what this palette looked like last month. So here's what my palette looks like now. So as you can see, the biggest change is this white half-ass, crappy-ass shimmer shade. It's completely gone. And like I said, that was used to franken with Incense in my Norvina palette. So that's why this is 100% gone. And I have expanded the pan in both mattes, this mauve shade and the purple. I'm actually really close to hitting pan in the side pan right on the top there of that purple shade. I have used this shimmer here and there as well, and I feel like I could be close to hitting pan. There's the shimmer, but I'll be honest and say I probably won't work on finishing this one. If I do anything with it, I may end up using it to franken something, but I don't plan on finishing that unless I have a change of heart. Right now, it's just really not that great of a shadow. In fact, both pinks, the pink in here and the pink in my Norvina palette, are just not my favorite formula at all. Like, this formula is really shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it. I think it's terrible. And this is just really frosty and yeah, not my favorite, but I'll use it here and there. Anyway, that's how this palette is going. Of course, I do want to hit side pan and actually both of these shadows for the next month's update. That would be amazing. And maybe even try to finish half of this half of the mauve shade. We'll see. In terms of weight, my baby Petalette palette weighed 21.6 grams last month. It weighs 20.5 this month, mostly because of this shade being repurposed, and that's a decrease of 1.1 grams. So right now I've used up a total of 2.8 grams out of this palette. So I'm ahead of schedule. This has about 4.5 grams. My goal is not necessarily to finish this palette this year, but we'll see how it goes, because at the end of the day, If I finish both of these mats and I just have this left and I haven't found a way to use it, I'll call this palette done. Like I would have gotten the use out of it that I wanted. That is my update today for my Petalette palette for the month of July. I am very happy with how things are going. I'm like right on track for all 3 palettes. I would have liked to have been ahead of schedule with this. I mean, in actuality, I probably am because the shadow probably weighs a decent amount. So I do feel like I'm ahead of schedule, but I'm really like on paper, I'm not. And I really need to start working on summer. I feel like summer is a shade that I could get some use on, but it's not like a holy grail shade, and I actually prefer dazzling a bit more to it. I feel like this has got a little bit more of a pinky rosy hue that I prefer over this one, but we'll see how it goes in the fall when I may be using some more of these fall shades. Warm shades, that's what I want to say, warm. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're doing well and staying safe. Please hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Bye. Look at how good he is at catching. You're such a good hunter, Marley. And then lastly, I have a baby. That is my update for my Petalette palette. So, what? Okay, bye.